Hello friends, as we have been seeing the various incentives of the process control, we shall be today looking at another incentive, that is process control and environmental regulations. To get an idea of what environmental regulations are, why are they needed, how these can be implemented, we will go back to the date 4th of August 2018. It was a usual Friday morning. The residents near Nangal, it's a small township in Punjab. If you might have visited that place, it's a beautiful place. So the residents near that, they spotted that the river is all full of dead fish. It's a small rivulet and it's all full of dead fish. Why it happened? The news that was flashed on that day, it goes something like this. Less than 3 months before this incident, a large number of fish in the Beas River were killed by leak of molasses from a sugar mill. Toxic discharge of effluents allegedly by industries in the Himachal Pradesh this time have killed fish in the River on the fateful Friday morning of 4th of August 2018. This is what came in the newspaper on the next day. The people in Nangal subdivision of Punjab's Ropar district, they discovered these so unsightly dead fish in the Swan and informed Pollution Control Board. I think most of the people in lighter vein call it as Pollution Board instead of Pollution Control Board because perhaps it's not fulfilling its job of controlling the pollution. Of course, that is in lighter vein. So, from the preliminary investigations, it was clear that some firms in Himachal had released toxic effluents into the river, killing the fish. So, this is just to give you an idea that if any chemical processing plant or any plant, manufacturing plant for example, is not feeling responsibility of treating what ultimately gets out of that plant, whatsoever is coming out, they're called effluents. So if they are not matching the required standards, these effluents can be so toxic that they can spoil the whole aquatic life into the river to which they are discharged. राम तेरी गंगा मैली हो गई पापियों के पाप धोते धोते, and it's going to have a cascading effect on the people who don't even consume fish but they are taking water. That water is being used to irrigate the fields, and all these toxins ultimately end up into our dining plate. So 2 years before this incident again, some fish died in Satluj after effluents were discharged from National Fertilizer Limited plant. It's a long history. It is not that it happened in 2018 and that was the first time or that was the last time. It continues to happen thereafter also. What is needed is journal awareness amongst the public, which is fortunately rising. People are becoming more and more aware of the fact that jal hai to jeevan hai. So this water is essential for our existence. So some industries in Himachal Pradesh are also releasing pollutants into this river, which ultimately flows to the Satluj, or it follows that. It is unfortunate that the rivers, which I am again repeating, are life for many, are being polluted by people who are not feeling responsibility of the same. The same water is supplied to thousands of households downstreams the Satluj, and it later enter into Rajasthan. So imagine, by the time it passes through a place like Ludhiana and our campus Patiala through various underground sources, channels, and so on and so forth, it is so polluted. It is so polluted by the time it enters into Rajasthan. It's not even fit for bathing, not to say of drinking. This is the case of all those who are from Ludhiana. There's a place, there's a small stinking flowing stream known by the name Buddha Nala. Once upon a time, it used to be a very scenic place. More than 50 different types of fish, different variety of fish used to inhabit that fresh water stream, and people used to go fishing. All those who are from Ludhiana, their grandfathers might be telling them the story of how they used to go to fish near this stream, but now it is called Buddha Nala. It's so stinking, you cannot stand at that place in case you happen to be there. And there are three major sources, polluting sources for Buddha Nala. We have untreated sewage waste from Ludhiana city, sewage treatment plants. They are called sewage treatment plants, but they are not working properly. They are not working at all in some cases. We have untreated industrial effluents. It's the report is now old one. The number may be slightly different now. 228 dyeing units. They dye the fabric, and that toxic dye is simply thrown into Buddha Nala. There are 16 outlets which are directly releasing sewage and industrial waste into the stream, and unfortunately of these 16 outlets, 11 are MC disposal points, municipal corporation disposal points, through which the civic body is directly releasing untreated sewage waste into the stream. This is reported article. It's not that I have done some investigation, or I have figured out, or I have made some survey. It's the reported article. Public has read it. Some feel infuriated. Some say chalta hai. Now, you, the future generation, have to decide whether you have to take action on this, or you also join with the same kind of attitude chalta hai. As per the action plan for Clean River Satluj 2019 prepared by Directorate of Environment and Climatic Change, the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Punjab, this is the full name of that department. So as per that report, of 2,423 industrial units in Punjab polluting our main river Satluj, the majority, that is 2028 out of 2423, 2028 are in Ludhiana. So all those Ludhiana dwellers, see whether you owe any responsibility, whether you want to awaken yourself and save yourself and rest of the people, and this including the above cited 228 dying and 1649 electroplating and surface treatment units, which are directly or indirectly they are releasing their untreated water and waste into this Buddha Nala. So just imagine, with so much of toxins, so much of heavy metal coming from so many different units going unchecked, people living in Ludhiana, they will definitely go insane in next 10 years if they do not put any control on that. If you say, okay, we will put RO water in our kitchen, all right, but whatsoever heavy metal is coming to your cabbage or to the fish or through cauliflower or through radish, carrot, whatsoever vegetables you eat, you don't put your water through RO to irrigate your fields. So this is the amount of toxins which we all are. It's not only limited to Ludhiana. Ludhiana is an extreme case, but it's true everywhere, everywhere. So government has to do something. We as responsible citizens have to do something, are doing something, and that will have a positive effect, I will say, on the overall public health if we take these actions, which will be taken sooner or later. So what you see over here is a thermal plant. This looks so neat and clean and tidy and scenic and beautiful, with a stream of river moving around and some steamers going in, and the sky is blue and the green is earth. Any poet can write a poem on that, but that is not the case in NCR, where you have thermal plants which are so polluting, which are so polluting that it actually is going to choke the citizens of Delhi, and the Delhi government itself have asked to shut down the plants that are neighboring Delhi in the NCR, National Capital Region. They have gone in to the Supreme Court to ask to shut down these plants and other plants, and very soon they will be successful in doing so. So government can ask to shut the plants. As a matter of fact, we have rules, and one day some honest, some awakened, some aware people, citizens, bureaucrats, politicians, they will be in a position, actually they have the power to actually shut down these polluting plants. Somehow we are managing in India, but in most of the countries you cannot. You cannot manage. You cannot just manipulate. You have to follow the environmental regulations. The laws are becoming strict. The future generation is becoming more aware of these things, and that is what the purpose is, that we have to have a proper control on the process, so that all those environmental regulations which exist on paper should be implemented at the ground level also. So friends, my idea of teaching you all this in the process control is to give you the importance of environmental regulations which are there on paper and should be or will be implemented in near future. I don't lose hope. I'm quite optimistic on that. I have a lot of faith in the future generation like yours, that things will improve, and all those culprits who are doing the things willingly or unwillingly, they will be shunted out. The sooner the better. So if you go by the textbook, it says the federal and state laws may specify that the temperatures, concentration of chemicals, and flow rates of the effluent from the plant be within certain limits. These limits are already defined and they have to be complied with. ले दे के काम नहीं चलने वाला है ज़्यादा देर तक. This is what has to be regulated. Such regulations exist, for example, on the amount of sulfur dioxide that a plant can emit to the atmosphere and on the quality of water return to the river or the lake. We don't want to see all those dead fish, and these dead fish are not exclusive to our life. I may not be taking fish directly. I may not be a fish eater. I may be vegetarian or a vegan. But then the plant, the aquatic life, the flora, the fauna, everything gets affected, and I'm also part of that food chain. You all have known about, read about biological oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand. These demands should be as low as possible within the permissible limits so that they don't get into the river and take up the oxygen. Oxygen demand means they take up the dissolved oxygen, so that leaves the fish breathless and the fish dies. So this has to be regulated. And my dear friends, I'm finally going to say the same thing, that this is all possible. This is all possible. It's not impossible. If we have a controlled process. If we don't control the process willingly or unwillingly, then all this cannot be managed, but it can be managed. The government has made the regulations. Government is quite aware it is possible if you have a properly controlled process. So again, once again, as an instrumentation and control engineer, we think we have a good role to play in the society for our generation and for the future generation in case we understand the fundas of process control. Friends, I hope you might have some doubts or your queries might be there. You might have some interest. If you want to know more about it, you can interact with me through various means, as I have already been saying, through Zoom sessions or WhatsApp or direct calls or face-to-face interaction or any other mean. I'm open to that. So once again, I thank you for listening to me and hope you have enjoyed learning. Have a safe stay. Bye bye.